Hello gang, Merlin Don on the mic. Today we will talk about one of my favorite leaders in OP10. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a yellow hater, but this leader is just fun to play. It's fun to play and it's also competitive. So, two birds with one stone. Like always, with this in-depth analysis and guide, we will go through a PDF guide that I have created for you guys. Then we will check the list in the simulator, and after that, we will check also some matches against some opponents in the simulator, online simulator. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So, Yellow Kid, used as Captain Kid. This leader is a 5 life leader, 5k power. At the end of your turn, you can turn the top card of your life face up. So this top card must be face down in order for you to be able to activate the event, the ability of your hero, of your leader. And then you can set up to one of your 3 to 8 cost characters with supernova type active. So that means that on your last turn you have already attacked, for example, with this character. Now he's rested, right? So you make him active again and he gains blocker, even if this character does not have any blocker attribute. He's now a blocker. So really great ability. You can also see it in action in our games at the end of this video. At your starting hand, you will mulligan for these cards. What do you need? What do you want to see? You want to see your Luffy. You want to see your Luffy because it's your searcher. By playing this card, you get to search one supernova character other than Monkey D. Luffy, and added that in your hand. For example, you want to see Basil Hawkins. Why? Because he's a supernova, so you can use him as a blocker. And read this on KO, guys. If your opponent kills this character, you get to truss up one card of the top of your opponent's life cards. It's such an overpowered card, if you ask me. And of course your Getatsu, because on your early game you want to gain control of the board, and this leader wants to go to the late game, so like almost all yellow leaders, right? So Getatsu helps you maintain the control in the board. Between 1 and 3 dawn, you play your searcher, you play your Shirahoshi blocker. Between 4 and 6 dawn, you play your 4 and 5 cost character. So you Basil Hawkins, we talked about him, Getatsu, we talked about him as well. Your Uruz and your Cavendish, these are vanilla stat characters, but you can use your leader's ability and they become blockers. So they are blockers now at the end of your turn. And you get to attack with them, and then you activate them again, and they are blockers now. And of course, Nico Robin, because if you play this card on curve, for example, it's such a strong card. You get to trust one card of your life cards of your opponent, right? 7 and 8 on, you play your Trafalgar Law, so you heal yourself with this card, and you know what card you place on the top of your life cards, and you use as Captain Kid. You trust one life card of your opponent. So both of them are really strong. And your finisher, talking about finishers, Portugas D Ace, guys. So with this card, you heal yourself and it has Rush, it has a 10k power. I don't need to say more, right? How do you defend yourself? You defend yourself using your 2Ks, Frankie and Satori, your blocker Shirahoshi, your Eustace Captain Kid, your leader's ability, so you create blockers even if they are not blocker, right? Your Law, you heal yourself with him, Portugas TAs, you heal yourself with him, and of course Raigo to maintain control in the board, and of course it's also a trigger, right? So you use these cards to defend yourself. You prefer always to go first. Why? Because it's better for your curve. So you start by playing a searcher, Then on your 3 dawn you play Sirahosi, or you attack with your dawns. On your 5 dawn you get to play an Uruz, for example, or a Basil Hawkins. On your 7 dawn you heal yourself, and or you play a Nico Robin, for example, right? And then on your 9 dawn you play your useless Captain Kid, and on your 10 dawn you finish your opponent. So we don't need the even curve to rush our opponent down, right? So you can take your time here by controlling the board, tracing your opponent's life, and then finish him off with your ace. If you go second, it's also not bad, because you still have things to play on curve, like your searcher or your blocker, your Basil Hawkins on 4 dawn. On 6 dawn you can play almost all of your characters. On your 8 dawn you can play your Law and your useless Captain Kid, and on your 10 dawn you can also play your ace. So it might seem like a better curve, the even curve, and don't get me wrong, it's also great to go second with this deck because you do have cards to play on curve. But for me it really feels odd when I don't have a Basil Hawkins in my hand and I just sit there with 4 dawns and I just wait for the next turn to come up. Whereas at this curve you almost always have something to play on your 3rd turn, so like an Ruse or something like that, right? And like I said, you need time, so you don't need to play as fast as possible your Kid and your Portugasti Ace. You need time with this deck. You will see what I'm talking about in a little bit when we will see the matches, the live matches. So let's go to the simulator and see the cards of this deck, of my deck. So it uses Captain Kid. Like we said before, you turn your first card, your first life card, your top life card face up, and then you create a blocker for free. Sirahosi, it's a blocker and it can't be KO'd by effects. If your opponent does that, then you just heal yourself with a card. Getatsu, you KO something, it depends of your opponent's life cards, so most likely you will be able to KO something of 4 or 5 cost. Satori, it's a 2k, but you can also play him through the trigger. Frankie, exactly the same, 2k, and you can also play him if it's your last card, I think, or the previous of the last card of your life cards for free, and also draw a card. Portugasti Ace, it's your finisher. He has Rush, he's a 10 cost 10k body, and you heal yourself also with him. Nico Robin, if your opponent has 3 or more life cards, you get to trust one of them. Such a great card. Uruz, Uruz and Cavendish, they are vanilla cards, but they are also blockers by using your leader's effect. Basil Hawkins, if your opponent kills that, you trust one life off of their life cards. Your searcher, your machine, Eustace Captain Kid. On play, you recycle a card, so you toss up one card from the top of your opponent's life cards first with the on play, and in every turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, you just draw one card and discard one card from your hand, so you practically recycle one card in every single turn for every single user's Captain Kid that you have on the board, right? So if you have 2, you get to recycle 2 cards. How strong is that? X-Drake, it's a 2k for you. Trafalgar Law, you heal yourself with a Supernova, and you also add 1 Restidon to your leader. Raigo, you kill something big if you are at 1 life, because you don't want to use it before. So it's most likely it's most of the times a finisher, or it's also a great trigger, because the trigger is KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of equal to or less than you and your opponent's total life cards. right? So this is the deck, guys. So without any further ado, let's go to the matches. We will start by facing an Usopp. This is strong leader of the OP10 blue-black. We go first here. We don't have anything to play. He plays a soldier on our second turn. We still don't have anything to play. We attach all of our dons to our leader and we attack him. He defends that. On his turn, he attacks us. We counter that, and then he plays a Cavendish. We play our Cavendish, like I said before, by using your Gedatsu. You can KO something of your opponent, so this is exactly what we do here. We KO his soldier and we pass after we attack also with our leader. He's now at 4 life, we are at 5 life. He attacks us with his Cavendish, which we counter, and he gets to draw 2 cards and trust one of them. It's such a great effect. You need to get rid of this Cavendish as soon as possible when he plays one, because it's practically 1 free card in every turn, and plus he recycles his cards, right? So we hit here a trigger, we hit a Basil Hawkins, and we get to do the same things. We draw 2 cards, we trust 1 card, so we recycle a little bit our hand, and we are now at 7 Dawn. So we play our Nico Robin, we trust 1 card from his life, and then we attack his Cavendish. He blocks that, and then he brings back a Bartolomeo from his life. We attack this as well with our leader, we kill that as well, and then we play Searcher. So now we have 2 kids, and guys, you don't need playing this leader, you play the long game. You don't need to attack his life. Why? Because you have Nico Robin, you have the useless Captain Kid, you trust his life, right? And then you finish him off by using your Portugas DAs, and you focus on his board while you are doing that, right? And this is exactly what we do here. So look what he does. He plays Rebecca into Kyros, into something else. So Elio, he establishes his board. We don't need to focus on his life. We need to focus on this board, on the cards on his hand. So we need to take as many cards as possible from his hand. And this is exactly what we do here, right? So we play now our useless Captain Kid, and look that on play we trust 1 more card off of his hand, and then we use our leader's ability. What does this do? We make our useless Captain Kid a 9k blocker. We activate him again and we make him a blocker, right? And then we have another useless Captain Kid to play, and then we have a Portugas Ace to play, and we have an Oruz to play if we want to. So in his turn, he attacks us with his Rebecca and with his Cavendish. So he recycles. Then we take. Why do we take? Because you want always to have 1 card on the top card of your life should be hidden, so that you can use your leader's ability. And so here we draw also a law. We have so many possibilities. We have so many possibilities, guys, here. And look at this guy. He has so many. He has so many dons now. I was like, maybe he goes for my light, which I would take, and then I would play an ace. But instead of that, he plays another Rebecca. And he brings a Kyros. He brings a blocker. Not a blocker, a Rorona Zoro, excuse me. But at least we got a high cost character, so he can't do anything to us. So then he attacks a Robin with Kyros. Of course we block that, we don't want to take heroine damage. And then he attacks us, I think, with first with his Usopp. We take, because we want to use our Portugas DAs on our next turn. And then he plays another blocker, right? So it's now our turn. We first attack with our leader. He's down on 2 life. He takes. He's now down at 1 life. So we don't need to focus on his life now, right? We have a Portugas DAs. Let's see what he will do. So we instead of doing that, we focus on his field, right? Because he also has a blocker. So we attack his 2 of his characters. he loses one, then he sacrifices the other, and he plays his he sacrifices his blocker, and then we play our ace. What does our ace do? He heals us. We kill another character, and then we use our leader's ability. We make our kid a blocker, a 9k blocker, and now when he attacks, of course we block that. Then he uses his second Kyros to attack us. We block that as well. And then he plays a Leo, a blocker, and a Cavendish. And he, because he has Colosseum, he can attack our Robin again, and he recycles 2 more cards, right? Then he attacks us again with his leader, and we have another ace. We have another ace in our hand. So what do we do, guys? We first hit him with our leader. Look the bosses that we have on the field. Then with our useless Captain Kid, he blocks that. Then with our Portugast ace, then he gives us all of his cards, right? All of his cards. Then we play another ace. We heal us again, and then we clear his board again. And what do we do at the end of our turn? One more time, we recycle, and then we create our useless Captain Kid. We make him a blocker. Then he uses a red rock to bottom deck our kid, but we do have enough counter to counter that, and he knows that, so he can't do anything at this point, and he concedes, and I understand that. So you saw here how strong this deck is when you play it in the late game. So you need to go to the late game. So here we go first again. We don't have anything to play. He plays an Nami, and on our third turn we attack him with 6k, and then we play our Sirahosi. He now plays a Nami. He attaches 3 dons to his character, to his leader, we sacrifice our blocker. We want to stay healthy at this point of the game, right? Now we play our Kedatsu to kill his Nami, if I remember correctly. So this would be the logical thing to do here. This is exactly what we do. So we play our Kedatsu. Unfortunately, he's not a supernova, so we can't make him a blocker. He plays a Brook here, which is also really good in this deck. And then a Jimby. He attacks us for 5k, and I was like, okay, do I want to stay healthy? Yes, I do. I do want to stay healthy, because this is a red deck. What does a red deck do? It rushes down their opponent. What do? We play for long game. So we play vanilla character, we attack him to grab resources off of him, and this is exactly what we do here. And then at the end of our turn, our Cavendish is now an 8k blocker, guys. You see how strong that is, right? So he attacks first our Gedatsu, we counter that. Then he attacks us with his Brook. He gives -2 to our Cavendish and to our Gedatsu. Then he uses this 4-cost event, and he KOs our blocker, our Cavendish. And then I think he attaches the remaining Don to his Jimby. He kills our Gedatsu as well, so he did a board clear at this point. What do we do here? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? First we attack with our Monkey D. Luffy to his Jimby. We want cards or his Jimby. We take cards, which is understandable. Then we finish off this Jimby by attaching 1 Don to our leader and attack him. And then we play our kid. What does our kid do? He attacks his leader for us. He trashes one of his life cards. And then at the end of the turn, he's what? A blocker. He attacks us with his Nami. He sees this Raigo on the top of the deck, so he knows that he has to attack us now with this Brook, right? And he gives a -2 to our blocker, so we get this Raigo, but I don't trigger this Raigo. I wanted to keep that as a finisher, and then he uses another of his events and he KOs our Kid and plays a Zoro. Now we are at 10 Dawn. What do? We chill, guys. 2 Dawns to our leader, we KO his things, we use our Eustace Captain Kid to take care of our opponent's life, and then what do? Then is our Eustace Captain Kid a blocker, a 9k blocker, guys. He plays a new gate, he attacks our leader, of course we block that, and then he uses 2 Dawns to his Zoro and attacks our leader. Of course we take, because we want to have always have this extra life that is face down, right? So first we attach 2 Dawn to our leader, we kill his Zoro, we chill, we're chilling, guys. We're chilling. Then we play our searcher, we search, we grab something here. I was like, okay, I will grab a 2k, let me grab another 2k. I have 3 2ks in my hand, and then we attach 1 Dawn to our Kid, we attack him for 10k, we play our Cavendish, and what do at the end of our turn? That's right, we recycle with our Kid, and then our Kid is now what? A 9k blocker. So in his turn he plays his Otama, he KOs our small Luffy by playing a Rayleigh, and then he uses all of his resources and KOs our blocker as well. But now he doesn't have any Dawn left, right? So he attacks us with 6k, we take that. Why do we take that? We take that because what we did here is we would play our ace. So he had 1 card. I first attacked him with my 5k Cavendish. He had only 1 life, so he had to use his counter of his hand, right? Then I attacked him again with my leader. He took life. And then we use our Rusher, our 10k Portugas the Ace to finish him off. This is how strong this deck is on the late game. I will say that again and again and again. And the last game, it's a short game because our opponent conceded, I think. But I wanted just to show you also Oruz, how he becomes a blocker, right? So we play our Shirahoshi on our second turn, and like I told you guys before, on your third turn you're at 5 Dawn. So if you have Uruz, you can play this Uruz, and you can see we have 2 loss after this Uruz. So that means that on our fourth turn we can play this low and heal ourselves, and this is a never-ending story. So of course what we do here is we control the board and we make this Uruz a blocker, a 7k blocker. And Law needs to use all of his Dawns in order to play characters on the field so that he can use his leader's ability in the end. And of course he can't do any damage to me at this point. So I think that he just conceded after that attempt here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, exactly. But as you can see also in my cards, we would have won that also. Anyway, so this is the list, guys. Again, it's such a great leader. I loved each one of the games I played with this leader. I totally recommend you to try him out. And even though I hate yellow decks, I might play this leader on the upcoming set. Not as a main leader, but maybe as a second leader or third leader. Who knows? This was it for today, guys. You can smash this like button if you like the video. You can write me down in the comment section below your thoughts about this deck or whatever you like. Thank you all for watching. Peace, guys.